Do, 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 do. We up in here on another Friday. So good to be back on this greasy, very apparently greasy nose Friday. My goodness. Shouldn't be using my monitor as a mirror. I should be looking at you guys like I'm supposed to be. Happy Friday, y'all. What's up? Welcome to another Producer Whisperer Sync Hustle Mindset. It's Friday. Missed you guys. Been another busy week as usual with Smash Coast, you guys, and with Hollywood. Yeah, they're at the negotiation table. And what they're saying is that they're coming up with something that's gonna end up being some substantial gains for the writers. And I can't wait to see what it is. I was skeptical. I thought it was going to last a lot longer than this, even though it has lasted a long time. But I was seriously doubtful about whether they were going to be able to come up with a solution, in a timely manner. And it seems like they have. And I hope that even though the picketing has stopped, I hope that the writers go ahead and okay this. Today is Friday. So hopefully when you guys come in the live, you guys can update me and see if it's happened yet. I think the last I heard was Tuesday. Sorry, I tapped out, been smash coasting for a second. But yeah, man. And that means the sync floodgates are going to open because a lot of these music supervisors and these libraries and everybody that was making money off of network and scripted television, they're chomping at the bit to get that income stream back, those royalties and those sync fees. And yeah. And I, for one, let me adjust this so you can hear every drop what I'm talking about. I, for one, am excited myself because I mean, yeah, why wouldn't I be? And the thing of it is, honestly, man, hopefully, hold on, let me adjust this. I'm always doing something on camera. The thing is that, yeah, I'm happy for us as music creators and publishers and whatnot that are making our living in this space. But I'm genuinely happy for the writers, you know, a lot of which have been working in the industry a lot longer than I have been, creating music for television. And that's about 20 years now. Um, and, just like us, they support their families. They work directly on television. And you got to feel for them, man. And we're in a time where technology is kind of upending things and changing things at a rapid pace. And to be honest with you, a lot of industries are antiquated and they're not used to, or I should say, they aren't prepared for what's coming or what's here. So it's very, very, very optimistic that they're sitting down and they're talking about they're coming up with a solution. And kind of saying that it's something that the writers are feeling like they're going to go ahead and take because it's a good deal. So that's good. That means they're going to be getting their paper, they're going to be getting their bread up. um where I'm curious is where what they're going to be saying about the streaming royalties, which they did have room to, like I said in previous video, they did have room to just compensate the writers better. you know they couldn't actually change the streaming royalty rates across the board for them, but they could pay them better, probably incentives, bonuses, that kind of thing, who knows. Um but definitely something to put, bread in their pockets. And then the AI element. And my guess, also, I said in previous videos that I was guessing that the most that they were going to be able to do is to basically let the actors and the writers know that um, AI may or may not be implemented in this particular feature or this, piece of media that we're creating, and to what extent, and then maybe give them an option to opt in or opt out or something like that. But I just couldn't see a way where studios were not going to use AI, especially when it's like, technology. Look at Pixar. Like every time, every wave of movies they come out with, they're talking about new technology that they use to make it, you know, better than the last time we saw. Um, Same with Disney, all of these animation studios or whatever. None of us are using the same cameras. The camera that you have in your hand right now, or in your pocket right now, in your purse right now, is better than the cameras that they were using to film TV shows with 20 years ago. Now dig that. They didn't have 1080p cameras shooting TV shows. It was HD, but like, yeah, your Samsung or your Apple phone right now shoots better than they were filming like The Price is Right in and stuff. And that was more than 20 years ago. I'm tripping my old ass. Um, but so yeah, it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. And so today we're gonna talk about just being ready, because like a lot of us in the sync space, like we've been waiting for this for a long time, right? We've been um basically just holding on to the fact that the reality shows were going to keep us afloat right now, and sports was going to keep us afloat right now, and they have, and thank goodness for those. Shout out to all the music soups and all the companies that kept rocking with us and kept rocking with you guys through uh this bit of turmoil with Hollywood. And but yeah, man, we're definitely welcoming all of the all of the network stuff uh back. But what did you do during this time? A lot of us, like, work didn't like really slow down a whole lot, really, because we kind of like picked up the pace in other areas. But now you're gonna have to pay, attention to the networks, because hey, I'm be honest with you guys, the networks, they pay good money up front usually for syncs, and the royalties are really good on network, even though they do bounce a lot of that network stuff over to streaming as well. They'll have a sister streaming network, which is cool, because like I'm like, well, I welcome all the placements. I'm not hating on none of them. Um, but um, what did you do in the meantime? Um, did you really prepare for? Hold on a second, let me look at, because like I'm not even live right now. I mean, I am, but I'm glad he did that. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm sorry, I got distracted real quick, man. I got a text message. And that's just the epitome of how the week was, man. Like the week was basically, I get into one thing, I work on one project, and then boom, something jumps in, and then now, and it's like it won't wait, and then I gotta jump on this, and then it's going back and forth, and now next thing you know, you got four things going at once. And I'm not complaining about it at all by any means, but um yeah. So basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about was um staying ready so you don't have to get ready, and that entails letting you guys know what the needs of the networks are and what they're going to be. Okay, now the network game is crazy, because like there's a lot, it's scripted television, so there's a lot of dramas, there's a lot of comedies, there's even game shows, like, there's a plethora of stuff on there, and a lot of opportunities for you to win with your music. But you have to create with purpose and intent. You can't just throw darts against the wall and hope that they stick. And that's not just with network television, that's with sync in general. Like the more purposeful you are, the more success you'll have in sync. Because 9 times out of 10 clients want something specific. They're not just grabbing and throwing stuff in something. Like there's intent in everything that they do. So there has to be intent in everything that you do. And that goes back to, sync 101, the basics, the due diligence. Okay. So figuring out what you're best at, right? What you could really kick butt in, what you're an expert at. And then seeking out areas in media where they use that type of music where you can basically get in where you fit in, right? So you see, like, okay, so you, instead of saying, okay, well, I want, I've always wanted to get my music on love and hip hop, right? Um, you might not fit, your style of music might not fit on love and hip hop. It might be a better fit for, like, something else. And but you're a fan of that show and you wanted music on that show, and you keep submitting to that show and it's not working, right? Well, maybe the music that you're making doesn't actually fit where you're sending it. So do some research, man. Find out who's actually using the stuff that you make that you can kick butt in. You feel like you can basically beat everybody in, um, and make a lot of it, like supply it, be a definitely be a dependable supplier of that music. And then, seek out those opportunities, find those shows. And I bet if you do this, then you're going to spend a lot less time waiting for opportunities to happen, and more time fielding actual opportunities, because you're going to have a targeted effort, and that's going to yield better results every time. And plus, there's really no excuse not to do it or be that way, because there's so many different types of placement opportunities throughout media, from television to film to video games um whatnot. And so the odds of you finding a spot where you can really get in and win and excel, and more importantly, be of some value to a client, to a customer, um that's something that you should definitely go after, go for. And it's not hard to do. It just takes a little bit of due diligence, taking some time and doing the work. Shout out Clint Music. Speaking of Clint Music and Excalibur Zero, just a reminder, you guys, I'm going to be in Atlanta on November 4th at the Shades of Sync conference, which is the first Black African American melanated, however you want to say it, not however you want to say it, but um uh curated synchronization conference. And I think it's really, really dope, man, because uh they were saying that we only represent about 8% of the industry. And I know we make a lot more music than that. I know urban music and the styles of music that we create, you know uh gets used a lot more than we're actually represented. So something like this is big. And as soon as they announced it, I hit Clint in the DM and I told him I wanted to be part of it. And lo and behold, man, they invited me. So I'm going to be flying to Atlanta. And I don't know how long they're going to give me to talk, but I'm going to bring some jewels for you, for sure, for sure, for sure. And we're all going to leave better than we came, for sure, because I'm sure they got a lot of dope guests besides myself. And it's going to be a fun time. So if you're in Atlanta, be sure November 4th to come. Check out Clint Music's or Excalibur Zero's page for details. And throughout this month, we're going to be giving you more details as they come, and letting you know what's up. So yeah, come check us out. Shades of Sync. Woo, pretty dope. Even these cookies, man. Been a crazy morning. So network needs. Now, I found